Guys, today I'm going to show you how I recorded the synth drop on my song I See You, which is off my EP All or Nothing. This is a song that I actually wrote for my daughter Ellie, who you might be able to hear crying in the background because she's not wanting to go down for her nap. Anyways, here's the drop so you can check it out.
I see you. Oh.
Taxing my computer. Anyways, so that's the main synth sound. I'm gonna go ahead and it's actually well, technically it's three synth sounds. So I'll go to the main synth sound, which sounds like this, soloed. I actually took that and bounced that to audio, and I'll show you why I did that in a second. But anyways, I'm using Sylenth, and I used a preset called Icicle, Key Icicle, and I set the attack up a little bit on both the parts and the release completely to 0, and then I opened up the filters pretty much all the way. The filter right here on the filters, yeah, they're pretty much open. And so the slow attack makes it kind of lead in a little slower, right? Let me just. It comes in, and then that little vibration ba-da-da-da is actually being caused by this Kickstart plugin that I have. That's basically like it's like a sidechain emulator, and it's basically pumping at eighth notes, which is going to come in handy when I start doing the automation. So what I did for the automation is I did pitch bends down 1 octave on certain parts, and up leading from down going up into the octave. So for example, like when I first start the chord, you'll see that it's pitched down an octave and coming up an octave as I play the first chord, which makes it sound like it's leading in from low to high. And then you stack, sorry, my playhead's delayed, and then you stack that on top of the slow attack. It gives it like this kind of wobbly kind of sound. Okay, the same thing when I have the pitch down. You'll hear this long chord being held, and this pitch automation is just going to make it shift down, which gives it a cool little feeling, a cool little sound. So basically, automated the pitches on certain points, basically when I'm leading in to each phrase, and then when I'm ending the phrase on these long chords. The other thing to note is my MIDI, my notes, like my chords are very open. So like I'm using like a root and a fifth on these chords, and then I'm trying to make as open chords as I can so that they sound very full, keeping my melody line on the top. I learned a lot by Avicii's tutorial on future music producers from like way back when. So there's that. I took that and I bounced that to audio, and I actually duplicated it, so I basically had 2 audio sources of the same signal. Oh, sorry, one more thing. I put reverb on there as well using Valhalla rooms, and then I actually put a stereo imager on the reverb to make the reverb nice and wide. So after that was complete, I bounced that to audio. Here's both of them. It's the same one, just duplicated. And the reason it sounds so much better now is because so what I did is I panned one hard left and I panned one hard right, and then I nudged the one on the right over like a few samples, and this creates that Haas effect, which makes it really wide. You see the difference? It's pretty close, but they're just nudged over a little bit, and it gives it a really wide sound, which gives space in the center for vocals and bass and that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, I just put some I added a little high shelf EQ on both of them to make them a bit brighter because I feel like they were a bit dull. And then that was it. And then stacked on top of that, I had the low stem, which is and it's doing the exact same thing, except using just the root note but it's still doing those pitch bends like the other one did. And one thing to note, every single time that we had the long sustain notes, right there, I'm cutting off the kickstart that's creating that pumping, because I don't want that to continue on that part. I want that to be emphasized without having that bum. I don't want that those eighth notes to continue to pump while those long sustains are there. Then what's this one? This last one is same idea. So it's just doing the same thing an octave lower, so it fills it out together. It sounds like this. And then somewhere else in there I have a sub bass somewhere in this craziness, bass sub right here. I don't even know if you can hear it unless you have headphones on, but anyways, it's just keeping that low end there, and the notes sustained just to add a bit of like continuous depth, and low end while those synths are going off. I guess that's kind of it. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, click that bell button so you get notifications when I put new videos up, because I'm going to be putting up some more. And check out my website at pierreandrews.com. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks.